Citizens of Reading, your new town manager, Jane Wellman!
That's hilarious. That's a lot. Those buttons are fantastic.
You deserve that applause.
Oh.
That's not a lot.
Thanks, Angela. Thank you so much. So this is going to be the first, maybe episode 0, maybe episode 1 of a podcast with the town manager. We're calling it right now Reading Between the Lines. Like reading, like it's a pun. It's a play on words, reading between the lines, Reading Between the Lines. We've toyed with other titles like Reading Unscripted or Live, Laugh, Local, which is a particular favorite in the office. I might need a sign that says that, like the signs your mom has in the kitchen or other rooms in the house.
Anybody out there with an Etsy account, Jane needs a Live, Laugh, Local sign.
Live, Laugh, Local, which is really should be like my tagline because we have to have a good time. I love my work. It's not all laughs all the time. But so this podcast was an idea that I had as we were working through the RCTV negotiations and as an idea that would be kind of a fun thing to do. And I was thinking I would do it when I was assistant town manager. And so I thought this would be a great way to try to another way that we could communicate with the residents of the town, the business owners, that isn't read this thing on social media, read this thing on our website, find a newspaper article. It's intended to be like, maybe this is a fun way to drive to work and, really soften the blow of a commute or making dinner more interesting at home. I don't know. But just 20, 25 minutes of what's happening, in town hall, what's happening around town, and really topical. And so we're looking for feedback from folks to kind of say what they'd like to hear about. Maybe we'll put out something on social media, like what do you want to hear about at the next podcast? What are the questions that could be answered? One of the ideas I had earlier this year was we had such a terrible winter, so much snow. Have the DPW director come in or a highway supervisor come in and talk about how they do snow removal and why it takes so long to deal with sidewalks and kind of the nitty-gritty from the people who do the actual work. We have just such tremendous staff in Reading. I've worked here for 10 years. It's been my privilege. I still learn something new every day. Sometimes it's on purpose. Sometimes I step in it and learn it the hard way. But so I wanted to kind of highlight staff, but highlight things that really matter to residents. And so we want to talk more about that kind of stuff. But this is a great time to start it. It's been a bit of a whirlwind the last few weeks. And they named me town manager and they gave me a contract that was working with the select board has been very good.
Great.
In the last few weeks, as we've gone through all this, and the contract technically starts tomorrow. That's the effective date is April 15th, tax day. I don't know if that was on purpose, if there's a joke in there, but so I'm excited to get to kind of move into this role. I'm still be holding both town manager, assistant town manager roles at the moment. I'm going to wait a little while to see what I want to do with the assistant town manager position and see if I want to, move things around a little bit or change the focus of that role and be a little more strategic, looking at what Reading needs for the future. So I'm taking some time to do that work. And department heads and division heads, all of our staff have been just incredibly supportive and responsive to all the different things we have going on in town hall. We are working very, very hard, not only coming up to town meeting, which is starting at the end of the month, so in a couple of weeks, but also we're starting to pivot and look at what FY28 is going to look like because that FY28 starts July 1st, 2027. Our budget process generally begins in the summer and really ramps up in, November, October, November timeframe for department heads. We're looking at it a lot earlier now because we're looking at, what kind of strategic changes we can make and what we need to do because, finances are really, really tight.
Sure.
And, we want to make sure that the select board and the school committee and all of the boards are just really well prepared for what FY28 might look like. So we're being really, really taking a close look at that right now. So that's some of what we're doing.
Yeah, you're busy.
A little bit.
Yeah, you're hopping right on into it.
Both feet. And it's great fun. But I'm grateful for just the fantastic staff we have. And our boards have been very responsive too. So it's interesting. The work is interesting. You're laughing. So the work is fantastic. I love it every day, which is true, actually.
That's good. That's great. All aboard the Jane train, right? Isn't that
a Jane train? I've heard that.
I've heard it around town too. So
I don't know.
Everybody's definitely cheering you on.
I'm getting a lot
and
of
excited. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And we have a lot of things happening right now. Birch Meadow 2 project is finishing up. That is a big playground and basketball courts. That should be open in a few weeks. We're just waiting for it to be. Today seems warm enough. It's 180 degrees outside right now. I think it snowed last week. It's 1,000 degrees, and we're just waiting for it to be warm enough consistently so we can pour the playground base.
Oh, nice.
It's poured in place, so it's not like rubber mulch. It's not wood chips. It's much safer and it's cleaner. It won't go home with parents in the car, and nobody loves that. So it's that project is just about done. And I think people are going to be really happy about that.
Absolutely.
We have a groundbreaking ceremony coming up on Thursday for our Reading Center for Active Living and the pickleball courts projects. Those are co-located basically on the same parcel. They're adjacent to each other. And so we've invited the relevant boards, committees, and Reading Pickleball Players Association and staff to come out and just take a moment, take a breather and enjoy how far it's come. It's been the Recal project's been years in
absolutely, yes.
Surveys and research and the Recal group that came up with the idea for Center for Active Living, and on and on and on, and handing it off from board to board and staff member over the years to get to where we are. So we've had so much support from the community to find the location, to time it right. They voted it in last year, and we've done all the design and everything else, and it's ready to go. So we'll do the groundbreaking on Thursday, and pickleball should be open by the fall, if not earlier, because that's just post-tension concrete courts and some other pieces. But that came in under budget, so we were able to include the lighting and the 7th court.
Wow.
Within our budget. So that's great news. And so that should be open and then in the fall or before the fall. And then Recal itself will open probably August, September timeframe of next year. So it's about a year of construction, which is great. It's great timing. And so our staff have done just a tremendous job working with various volunteers in the community to start preparing for how will that building run, because it's going to run differently than the Pleasant Street Center because it includes recreation and includes our veterans.
Sure.
So we have 3 divisions that'll be under one roof there. The staff already work together every single day. They're fantastic. But it's going to be a change of space. We're going to be able to accommodate a lot more people. We're going to be able to rent out some of that gym space, some of those rooms. Which will help augment or offset our operations expenses related with that building. But it's going to be an all new building, and so there's a lot of questions. How is this going to work? How will we be able to accommodate the different groups? What will it look like for our seniors, for a 60-plus community in their area? How will we be able to incorporate middle school students in a smart way? How will we be able to meet the needs of stay-at-home parents with little kids? How will we appeal to the 60-plus community that doesn't currently use the Pleasant Street Center? And that's part of why it's a Center for Active Living, because it's taking a different look at wellness, a different look at aging, and it's designed to support lots of different ways that you can do this, right?
Sure,
How it's not so much aging as it is wellness throughout your entire life. And that is mental wellness, that's social wellness, that's physical wellness, and this building will be able to support that for the adults in our community for a long, long, long time. So
that's fantastic, yeah.
It changes how that campus out there, really becomes just the center for wellness for the entire town, because you have Burbank Arena there, which is just fantastic for all the ice-related sports. There's there's a baseball field over there. There's soccer field over there. There's the range, which, for outdoor sportsman type sports, that's very appealing, and that is going to be fantastic. And putting our pickleball court next to the range, you know, is fantastic. It's not, nobody's going to complain about the noise, you know. But the pickleball community was really fantastic. They were supposed to be over in the Birch Meadow 2 complex.
Okay.
The one that's just getting finished originally. And it was, as that project was being planned, there was conversation in the greater region about the noise of pickleball and towns who had put pickleball courts in parks and the abutters just being, you know, oh my gosh, this is so much noise. This is really intolerable. And so we said, okay, this is a real thing. The noise is a factor. Let's not put it in a neighborhood park. And, you know, we're sorry, but we're going to make another plan. And Reading Pickleball Players Association was really good to work with, understood that. They didn't want to also kind of find that. They've been playing in Memorial Park, and we're getting complaints about the noise there too. So they'll be able to now play. We have 7 courts. All of them are accessible courts. One is a wheelchair accessible court. So so it's a larger margin, it's a larger profile court. But they're all handicapped accessible, you know, courts. So it really will be a fantastic facility for players of all ages.
Yeah.
And all abilities to come in and learn this popular new sport. And you can, one of the most compelling stories I heard at town meeting was a family who came in where the littlest grandchildren were playing with granddad.
Aww.
And because they could play together. And that was so compelling to have an intergenerational sport that people can enjoy together. So it's gonna be a really nice piece for the community over there.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
lots of people will come out and try the new sport. Recreation's planning, you know, how to teach pickleball, how to learn pickleball. What is this pickleball?
It sounds like they need to join up with RCTV so we can make some videos and help them out.
We could do some instructional videos.
Absolutely,
I kind
absolutely.
Of love that.
Yeah.
I am so klutzy that I am not going to invite you to watch me learn how to play pickleball, but I think that's a neat idea, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Get us involved. Get us more involved,
We'll
Jane.
drag you in. We'll drag you in, kicking and screaming. Now, you guys have been just great to work with and to kind of come up with this idea. And you were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, which I love. And so, so I'm hoping to bring in some staff and some other folks in the community, highlight what they're doing. And so people have a better sense of what's going on in town, what's going on in town hall, and can also ask us their questions.
Sure.
We can raise the profile of this because, you know, sometimes something comes up and people don't understand it. And things are, in town government, there's a lot of special language, you know, there's a lot of lingo, there's a lot of acronyms, you know, TLAs, 3-letter acronyms. And we use this language as shorthand to communicate with each other. But sometimes, you know, the public's like, we don't even know what you're talking. What does this even mean? And we have big initiatives going on right now on the planning side. We have the Walker's Brook project, which will eventually be a state-funded construction project to change the layout a little bit and the way that traffic flows on Walker's Brook. And there's some questions about what will that look like. We've done, you know, in community engagement. But if you're not like at the meeting, you're not one of the 50 people that went to that meeting, it's really hard to break it down.
Sure.
It's really detailed. So, you know, maybe we'll bring in one of the community development director, Andrew McNichol, and he can talk a little bit more about it. But that'll be a great project. I think the highlight of that one is people will be able to turn left out of Market Basket. That's a real, I put the little air horn on for that because all these buttons.
Right there.
Nope, that wasn't.
Not it. I made my voice
It's weird. Okay. I made my voice weird. That was not on purpose.
It was not. We're learning all this stuff.
It's the green one.
Right there.
There we go. Can turn left out of Market Basket. All right, you're cut off now. No more buttons for Angela. So that's one piece. We have the Eastern Gateway initiative that's going right now. And our CPDC, our Community Planning and Development Committee, those are our planners. They are approving zoning and building projects. they're going to take a look at what the bylaws would look like and zoning bylaw changes that would enable us to develop that area differently. And Andrew and his team have done a fantastic job of leading numerous community groups, talking to developers, talking to residents, talking to businesses, to get a sense of what do we want that area to look like, because that will be the economic development generation for the next 50 years. That area alone, if it's redeveloped. Now the town's we're not developers.
Sure.
But as a community, we work together to create bylaws that enable the kind of development that we're looking to see. And so there's a lot of work that goes in. It's a lot of discussion. There's, how is this conform to, all the state laws that we have to follow? And does the bylaw actually encourage what we want to see? So that's a great area for housing. That's a great area for planned retail and mixed use. So, it could be a mix of retail. It could be, there could be some pocket parks, more trees there, trails, walking paths. It's really accessible to the depot area. So it's great for housing for people who want to commute into Boston or out of Reading, going north. And it will, it could have, businesses, gym, all of the different, could have offices in there as well. So you can think of it as, and it's contained, and we want it to be designed really well. So we don't know what exactly that'll look like, but all of that work's been ongoing for a couple of years now. All of these are grant funded. So these are grants that we have received, and then we hire particular specialists, consultants to help us with this work. But it's a very public process. How we design it, how we talk about it, what the public public want to see, and then we make steps and go forward. So CPDC is starting to look at those bylaws now.
Wow. So yeah, definitely a lot going on.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So this is, I think, going to be a great format for anyone in the community, like you said, who's confused about language that's happening, who is wondering about different projects that you all have coming up in the town. So hopefully we'll get some great feedback from the citizens of Reading through this first podcast to let us know what do they want to hear about, who would they love to see you bring on as guests. Maybe there's, I'm sure there's plenty of people who work over there at Town Hall with you that tons of people in the community have no idea who it is, but they hear a name at a meeting. But it would be great to put a face to a name or a voice, because it's all going to depend on how you're checking out the podcast.
That's right. We're doing the video.
We have a video piece.
I'm not looking at it, though. I'm not breaking the third wall. But just because I guess that's how we do podcasts now. I don't know.
Yes. Well, we are RCTV, so we love the idea of a little bit of a video component to put on the channel.
Respect. I respect that. Definitely.
So we hope that people in Reading check out this first podcast with the fantastic Jane Wellman.
Oh, thank you. And the fantastic Angela Merrill.
Well, thank you. And that they reach out, let you know what they want to hear about, what they'd love to be more informed of, and definitely give a little feedback on reading between the lines, Reading between the lines.
I don't even know how to say it. Reading between the lines? Maybe both. Maybe you have to say both.
Reading between the lines?
Reading Reading. We'll work on it. We're open. We're coachable. We're open to suggestions.
And again, any of those Etsy shop people, a little live, laugh, local, Jane needs a sign for her new office.
I know. Live, laugh. We kind of do. We do. I can be emailed at townmanager@readingma.gov. That is a great place to send any kind of feedback for the podcast. And we look forward to sitting down again in a couple weeks and seeing what we get and having more conversations.
Absolutely. And hopefully I'll have the buttons down by then too.
I know. Well, and if you're not here, you're going to be off screen messing with the buttons.
I am.
I'm all right. There you go. I need this for select board meetings.
Right?
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Angela.
Thank you, Jane.
You at RCTV for supporting this crazy idea.
Absolutely. We love it.
All right.
Everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
All right.